Welcome to the Barker Podcast Collection.
We'll do another song.
Oh yeah, that's right, baby. Girl, tonight we're gonna make love. You know how I know, baby? 'Cause it's Wednesday. And Wednesday night is the night that we make love.
Welcome to the Not Watching Podcast. My name's Rob Howard, and this week I'm joined by
Ian Bruce,
John Marson,
and Marcus Hurley.
You can contact us on email at notwatchingpodcast@gmail.com or follow us on Twitter at notwatchingpod. Alright, so yeah, we've got some TV news here. Game of Thrones won a lot of Emmys the other night. It was up for about 20... it was up for 20 odd of them, we reported, so accurately. But yeah, it won Outstanding Casting for a Drama Series, Outstanding Directing for a Drama Series. That was for Mother's Mercy, the finale, not that awful Sand Snakes episode. Got Outstanding Makeup for a Single Camera Series, Outstanding Production Design for a Fantasy Program, Outstanding Single Camera Picture Editing for a Drama Series, Outstanding Sound Editing, Outstanding Sound Mixing, Outstanding Visual Effects, Outstanding Stunt Coordination, Outstanding Writing, and also Peter Dinklage won Best Supporting Actor, and nice. It took home the Best Drama Emmy as well.
The Outstanding for a Fantasy Film, is that a category they made up specifically so they could give them another award? Or for a fantasy TV show?
Yeah, what else is... I suppose that would probably encompass superhero stuff, though, as well.
Yeah, probably quite a few things, but I didn't know they did categories in the Emmys.
Oh, it's mental. When I first looked at these, when the nominations came out, the press release was like a 100-page PDF. It was insane. So, yeah, they're very granular, you could say. But yeah, no, that's kind of unprecedented for one single show to get all of that. And especially...
Not its best season.
Yeah. No, I'd say it wasn't either. Although it did get quite a lot of credit for the fact that a lot of it was off book, because it's kind of got to be at this point.
Maybe that was why then.
Yeah, I think they gave it more credit rather than it just being a retelling of what's already been written by somebody else. So hence the writing.
Oh, I suppose, yeah.
Stuff.
Rather than adapted for screen, it was actual writing.
Yeah, it is well made,
no
though,
offense
even
to
if some of it was a little bit...
Sorry.
So there's no Outstanding for being Outstanding award? Wow.
They were all outstanding. Yeah, I got fed up with saying outstanding. So it was...
There's outstanding numbers of people that you know are watching this now, even people who weren't even into fantasy before award.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, Peter Dinklage won for Outstanding Supporting Actor, and the Drama Award was for Outstanding Drama Series. So, yeah. But,
outstanding.
Yeah.
Totally.
Outstanding. Yeah, okay. There was some other Game of Thrones news, a bit of casting news. Richard E. Grant and Essie Davis, who you might remember from The Babadook. She was the mum in that. They've both been cast as kind of what sounds like some kind of travelling actors within the show, like they're a theatre troupe or something. And we don't know how many episodes they're going to be in, but they are going to be in it, and they'll be performing a play called The Bloody Hand, whatever that is. So,
okay,
cool.
Yeah, some more casting.
Nice.
Richard E. Grant's always good, and yes, be interested to see what they do.
He's going to ham it up massively for that.
Oh, big time, yeah, and so will she as well, because I remember she did quite a lot of that in The Babadook, if I remember correctly. Lots of, running around like a lunatic.
She's so hammy, she better never get an invite to number 10.
Absolutely.
Just won't let it go.
No, can't fucking help it.
This is good news. Well, encouraging news is that AMC has ordered Preacher to series.
Yay.
So the pilot must have been decent. Is all I'll say. Although I don't know, maybe AMC's quality is slipping after.
It's better than Fear the Walking Dead. Just order a fucking series.
Yeah, well, I hope they've not just gone, oh yeah, that's a comic.
Yeah, they like the comics, our viewers.
Yeah, but
I reckon it'll be good.
I'm very encouraged. Yeah, I'm still not sure about all the casting decisions, but they must know what they're doing. I'm interested to see what the overall tone of it is, because the comics are kind of, I think it fits with Seth Rogen quite well, actually. Like, his sort of, his body of work is kind of a bit dark, a bit nuts. So
yeah,
it might work. And they've got one of the showrunners from Breaking Bad on it as well. So
yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing what they do with it. I mean, I'm cautiously optimistic.
Yeah, for those that don't know, Preacher is, if you didn't hear us talking about this before, Preacher is about a angel and a demon create this thing called Genesis, goes down to Earth, possesses a preacher, who then gets the power of the Word of God, so he can basically tell you to do something and you have to do it.
Can you imagine what a kerfuffle this is going to cause in the States?
Yep.
When it comes out.
Definitely.
Oh yeah.
Because like it's massively it's about man and God losing touch, like literally.
Yeah, because God has left.
Yeah, God has
hasn't
fucked
he?
off.
Yeah.
He's gone to play skee ball. But
Yeah. Yeah, and you've got this the Saint of Killers, who's effectively the walking corpse of John Wayne, who's like coming for him, isn't he? I think. Yeah.
yeah, he's coming for everyone. But
and then there's a whole like shady organisation that are all sort of in cahoots with angels and stuff, and it's fucking mental, that show.
To be honest,
yeah.
if they can get away with
comic,
half of
rather.
the stuff they have in Supernatural, it's kind of opened the doors a bit, because
Yeah.
they've just killed off every single religious deity, spiritual being, whatever. They've popped up and died.
it's
Yeah.
so
so-
if they still been going, they've got season 11 coming up and it's doing pretty well.
Yeah,
I'd
some
say
of, some
they're
of the
probably
shit,
testing the
man, in the
water with
comic
this.
though is unreal. Like,
Yeah, I can imagine. I think I've seen bits of it and read bits of it, and just
I'm
still,
not sure. Yeah,
it will open the door towards the series I've always hoped they would make, The Boys.
oh,
oh yeah, that's another Garth Ennis one, isn't
they
it?
can never make that. Like, that,
I know,
Like,
but
maybe-
I just
maybe in
I just
10
want
years
Clive
they'll-
Owen to play Butcher. That would just be so awesome. Clive Owen and Simon Pegg, and that's it. And
have you,
you know,
do you guys know
and,
about The Boys
and-
at all, Ian and Rob?
No, go on.
It's basically
Oh,
what
God.
would happen if superheroes were real, as in they would be absolute fucking arseholes. You know, if you put a guy in that position of power where they can basically do whatever they want, they're worshipped by the media. So yeah, they just turn into like completely self-absorbed shits.
the superhero Spring Break has basically got an army of hookers who have to be on the coke in order to survive.
Yeah, they dope them up, because otherwise, like, a couple of times it's happened in the story that, like, one of the superheroes has been fucking a girl and literally she's just either split in half or just turned to a mist, or, like, it's just
grim.
nasty.
It's grim.
It starts off with,
That's the face I made, Ian, when I was reading it. It's just like, what?
The fuck are you talking about? Jesus.
it's got, what's the little ginger fella's name from Spaced and all that?
Yeah, Simon Pegg.
Simon Pegg. It's got
But it's-
Simon Pegg's character in it.
In it.
Garth
Actually in
Ennis,
it, called
yeah,
Wee
Garth
Huey.
Ennis saw Spaced, thought, well, this is never going anywhere, I might as well nick that character, so he wrote him into his comic. Of course, Spaced took off massively afterwards. But yeah, so
Yep.
it's actually got Simon Pegg in it. And it starts off with him going around a fairground with his girlfriend. And then all of a sudden, there's a couple of superheroes that have been fighting, and one of them punches the other, and she goes, the superhero goes skidding across the ground, hits Simon Pegg's girlfriend, and smashes her against the wall. And so Simon Pegg's just left standing there holding half the girl's arm, and she's just splattered like ketchup. gibbed up against the wall, and then the superhero
And it-
flies
and it
off and
goes
gets
from
on with
there.
his day. That's like setting the scene for it.
So you could bring in all the big name actors for it, though. You know, you could have Lawrence Fishburne as, was it Mother's Milk?
Yeah.
You could have Jean Reno as the French guy. You could have the girl out of Pacific Rim as the Japanese one.
Yeah.
Yeah, I might need to check that out. Actually, I do like
That looks fun. Does look
some
fun.
Garth Ennis.
It is very good. It's
I've
Yeah.
got quite a few issues of it. I
Depraved.
didn't finish collecting that. I need to get the rest of the trades. But
and
yeah.
he then did Crossed afterwards, which is like even
Oh,
more
God.
depraved.
That's really depraved. That's
That's-
like
yeah.
super nasty zombies that they're like intelligent, aren't they? Some
Yeah,
of them.
they basically just switched off the inhibitions and ramped up the bloodlust, the plague.
They're like cannibals and stuff,
Yeah.
really, aren't they?
It's the wrongful dead.
You see somebody getting
Yeah.
beaten to death with a severed horse's cock in it. It's like,
Yeah. Oh.
it's like
Okay.
what is going on?
That poor dolphin.
Yeah.
Oh dear. Well, on that bombshell, we should mention that we did talk about the Top Gear stuff before, but they have since, and was shortly after we last mentioned it, they did actually reveal that they have $160 million budget
That's nuts, isn't
for
it?
the Clarkson and Co. show, which should be interesting to see how they spend it.
That's one expensive caravan they're going to blow up.
Yeah.
All of them,
Considering their
hopefully.
budget was in the thousands up until this point,
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
and now they've got hundreds. What the hell are they going to do?
Jesus.
Who knows?
We're going to race that planet against that comet.
Yeah.
It's just like,
They did put it in perspective. That is kind of standard for most kind of cable or on-demand shows. But yeah, it's just the
Really?
fact that they're on that platform. I guess it's.
Plus, it's getting made
Yeah.
in England rather than America, isn't it?
I imagine they're doing whatever they have to do to keep them happy. So probably, well, they'll probably shoot some of it, but then they always would go overseas anyway. So
Yeah, true.
Yeah.
I guess by that you mean British production team, but
Yeah, cheaper,
They'll probably-
basically, rather than
yeah,
rather
right
than
in
Hollywood.
Europe kind of thing.
yeah. Speaking of on-demand stuff, on Netflix, on the other side of the coin, we've got Sense8's been renewed for a second season, which is cool. I enjoyed the first season. I know people had different ideas about it. Did you watched it all, didn't you, John?
Yeah, I did. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
There's
Will you watch the second one?
Yeah, I probably will. I mean, it was enjoyable enough. I don't think I'd put it on the top of the list, but yeah, I will get around to it when there's a second series out.
Yeah.
Especially when it's on Netflix and it's all there available whenever I want to watch it without any messing about.
That's it. Yeah, it's just so easy.
Glorious
I've still got to
4K.
get around to the first series, but
Well, it's not going anywhere. It's all
No.
there, isn't it? So, yeah. Also on Netflix, they're going to commission more episodes of Charlie Brooker's Black Mirror,
Cool.
which is cool. They've committed to making multiple new episodes, so that could be really good. I mean, the last one with the Christmas special with John Hamm in it was really good. So maybe we'll see some more higher profile actors in it, but even the early stuff's great. And especially timely. One episode of it in
Yes.
particular.
That happened for different reasons, though, didn't it?
Well, he had to go on and say that he didn't have any knowledge of it before, he made it. Whatever it was.
Yeah.
But yeah. What else have we got here? More British TV, or not. Well, Utopia was a really good show. They were long quite entrenched in the development of a new version of it for HBO, David Fincher, and the writer of what was his last movie that was good? Gone Girl. They were both going to retool Utopia as like a 12-episode HBO remake, but it's not happening anymore.
Oh.
So, yeah.
Fair enough.
Yes, it's just not happening. Problems with budget, apparently. Sounds similar to the Twin Peaks thing with David Lynch, although that is now back on. But yeah, I don't know. when it got cancelled on Channel 4, I sort of was like, oh, well, we've got this other thing coming. But I'm not surprised this didn't see the light of day in the end. It did seem a bit of a reach and a bit unnecessary, really, when the UK one was great, even though it didn't, or, well, it ended. But anyway. One thing that might be going ahead, though, is a couple of like HBO comedies. Flight of the Conchords, anyone fan of that?
No. Only because I've not seen it. So
I did see one or two of them.
I've seen a bunch of them.
Sort of
very
strange
funny.
New Zealand sort of odd comedy in it, sort of thing.
Low key humour.
Yeah. Almost like indie comedies. I don't know. Would you call it that?
Well, they were like a stand-up act that would do their shtick, and they extended it into like 2 seasons on HBO. But hilarious stuff and lots of very odd humour, and like they would reference their New Zealandness quite a bit. There was some references to like Lord of the Rings and stuff in some of the episodes. Some of them they'd just be playing at the airport, and it would be like that's like, and they had a manager character who was really funny. But anyway, apparently they're going to be making that they might be making a movie of that, so that could be fun.
What sticks out for me about it is just the weird. I don't know if it was a dream or a hallucinogen in which he gets visited by versions of David Bowie.
No, that is totally that is in it. And yeah, that totally happens. And there's the whole robot one as well. Yeah. Another HBO comedy that we might be seeing more of is Curb Your Enthusiasm. Anyone checked out any of that?
No, not yet.
No.
It's all right. Well, it's bloody brilliant. Larry David, the creator of Seinfeld, bit of a show all about him, like a sort of kind of exaggerated version of him. It's the ultimate in cringe humour. If you like Gervais type stuff, this side of the pond, he's kind of the equivalent of it in America. But it's very fun. But the thing is, he's kind of, he can just go to HBO, oh, I've got another season ready, and they'll just make it. It's not like an annual thing. It happens every year. It's just when he can be bothered. Most recent season of it had Michael J. Fox in it, doing some very self-referential humour. You know, you've got to admire the man to make fun of his own predicament.
Yep.
So it was tastefully done, but yeah, it's very kind of quite raw comedy. That's pretty cool. So yeah, there might be some more of that coming. Apparently, he said something like, I might have another season in me.
Cool.
So that'd be cool. More spin-off stuff. We've got, they're talking about doing a Sons of Anarchy spin-off based on the Mayans, which is a bit weird. Might see some returning characters from the original show, which you're still watching, aren't you, Marcus?
Yeah, I am. I'm still living in the early 2000s, still working my way through Breaking Bad and Sons of Anarchy. I'm on the last series, or second to last for both, actually. I think.
Okay.
I'm on, yeah.
Yeah, I don't know if I'll be up for more of this, to be honest. I mean, you'll get the odd probably episode where Tig will show up, or what's her name? What's Thingy's character? Venus.
Oh.
Oh god, yeah.
You'll probably have them showing up.
I'm just at the beginnings of that sort of weird Tig Venus thing going on.
Yeah, it's all a bit weird, isn't it?
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know. Yeah. And they're talking about doing more 24, but without Kiefer.
Oh really?
Yeah. So Fox want to do more 24. Kiefer Sutherland's not really up for it. So they're thinking of doing it all, like completely retooling it with a whole new cast.
Wow.
Sort of not ignoring what came before, but kind of just sort of kicking it off with a new main hero.
Yeah.
They should just call it 48 and set it over 2 days. So that way, if it fails, no one can associate the two.
48 episodes, that's a bit much. I struggle with 24 as it is.
Well, no, it doesn't have to be 48 episodes. I know 24 is 24 episodes, but it could be 48 episodes. Each one is like 2 hours instead of an hour.
But
to be honest, it's got no Kiefer Sutherland, so he's gonna, he's not gonna pull people in as much anyway.
Yeah. I just think they'll just do it with someone else for a bit and he'll come back eventually. It's just he doesn't want to do it at the moment.
It's like when they did, what was it? You had Spooks that won them for ages. And then you had the kids series of Spooks that was set in an alternative world in which all the main adults and everyone had been wiped out in a nuclear Armageddon.
Spooks Babies was that?
Or something like that. Yeah, it was something weird. They did a series of that. It was like Spooks.
Can't believe I missed that.
Something stupid like that.
I did watch that, I'm ashamed to say.
Yeah, but I'm saying it was like London was taken out in a nuclear blast or something like that, and then it was then carried on. But that's the whole point. It never affected the main show. It was just an alternative sort of thing. I would rather if they do something crazy like that with something so iconic, was if they kind of do it, a tenuous link, without it, tarnishing whatever's come before.
Yeah, well, I mean, it's worked for some things like the Flash and stuff.
It has.
It has.
Yeah.
So, yeah, we'll just see. And finally, last little bit here is Fox, while we're on the subject of more Fox, they're apparently talking about doing more Wayward Pines, even though that was originally set up as a one-off. They definitely ended it in a way that could have more. And yeah, I think they were quite pleased with the way that went. It had some really good ratings. So they're talking about doing more Wayward Pines. How do we feel about more Wayward Pines? I think did we all watch that?
I watched it. I was hoping there was more. I mean, the big reveal that, the world was Fubard and stuff.
Yeah.
Another M. Night Shyamalan.
But I'm just thinking,
How did this
I was
happen?
Destroyed.
but that's the thing. With M. Night Shyamalan, it's often the reveals will say like the equivalent would be like, say if it's a 10 episode, it would be episode 9. You'd get the reveal,
Yeah.
not episode 4 or whatever or 5. So
Yeah.
I was expecting that to be a red herring, and there was going to be something else. And
Yeah,
it wasn't.
it was so early that I was sort of
Yeah.
like,
I
this
thought
can't
that
be
was
real.
to throw you off because everyone
Yeah.
knows he does that in his films and dramas and whatever. So I was expecting that to be the obvious twist, and then it turns out it's not. And they're probably in space or something.
Yeah. It was kind
But
of a bit of a Dark
didn't
City,
happen.
pull the rug from under you sort of.
Yeah.
What the fuck? I
It
enjoyed
was
it. I
nice
thought it was
seeing
good.
Ian McShane working again, though.
He's always going to
Ian
work, isn't
McShane.
he?
Is he in
Always
that?
be there.
Ian
He was,
McShane.
he was in the, no, Ian McShane? No, Mike McShane. Sorry. Mike McShane?
Which one? Mike McShane
Oh,
used to
talking
be whose
about-
line is it anyway? He's a
Yes,
short, portly
that was
gentleman.
It, yeah, Mike McShane, that was it, yeah. Ian McShane. Yeah.
I think he was in Warehouse 13
He
for a while.
What was he did?
He was in the estate agent guy.
Oh, was
the
he?
big guy.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I remember. Yeah, I wasn't aware of his work. So
No.
He hasn't done a lot of TV, but he
Oh,
was a
that's
big part of sort of growing up, watching years and years of Whose Lines It Anyway and stuff.
Oh, fair
okay.
dues. Yeah. They're also talking about doing an X-Men series on Fox as well, which is intriguing.
Do-do-do-do-do.
As long as it's not like the terrible, yeah, it's got to have that theme.
Yeah.
As long as it's not like the terrible Generation X movie, that was bad. They said it in the score, and they had like the second-rate people like Banshee and the White and some stretchy dude and stuff like that. And you just think, what terrible film? Don't watch it.
No.
Is it going to be live action?
Yeah.
Oh, well.
They
Ugh.
could. You never know. It's
Good sentence.
yeah.
If they put
I just don't know
enough
what to
money
say,
into
really.
it could be good.
Yeah. Just don't skimp on it.
Speaking of which, have anyone seen any sort of set photos and stuff from X-Men Apocalypse?
Yes.
I'm not sure what to make of it. On one hand, I was really pleased when I saw, Storm with the Mohican and stuff like that, the Mohawk sort of style cut. and then all the 80s, and Jubilee appears to be sort of like, as opposed to a random kid. I'm hoping they follow like the original story, and that the Sentinels are kind of going after her and stuff, and the X-Men introduce themselves that way. Because it looks kind of similar to that way, because there were shots of them were in a shopping mall, weren't they? Which would, entail, because if the whole universe has been swapped around now after the events of Days of Future Past.
I think X-Men for me has always been the one that pulled itself back off, because X-Men 3 was a bit shit. Last Stand, I think.
Yeah. Terrible.
I mean, it was quite bad, but then subsequently they've managed to get it back on track. So I think if they keep going the way they did with Future Past, it'll be fine, and it'll end nicely.
Yeah.
We'll go, that was good. And then in 2 years we'll get a fucking reboot, and it'll all start again.
Yeah,
that's all right.
They've done a very good job of like sort of bringing in like a new generation of X-Men that could carry the torch onwards.
Yeah, but I mean, a number of them have said they're not going to do any more of them.
Yeah.
Really?
A number of the
one?
of the kids have said they're not going to do that.
Really?
I believe so. I think Jennifer Lawrence said she's only down for one more and then she's done.
I can imagine her going.
Well,
But especially like the new lot of kids, I thought that they cast them deliberately young. I guess they have to, because the other guys aren't that old, are they? But also to get them locked into multiple movies.
It's maybe the torch sort of thing, isn't it? Yeah.
Yeah, but
yeah, it'd be interesting, because I would like them to, because as we're seeing all the Marvel stuff, I would like their writers or the writers they employ to try and have more of a plan with films rather than just piecing, A to B to C and then finale.
Yeah.
Well, it's Simon Kinberg, isn't it, who's kind of becoming the shepherd of all this. He's also having a fair bit to do with the Star Wars stuff, actually, making sure all that ties together.
Nice.
So, yeah.
Who knows? Yeah.
Busy boy. Cool. All right, then. I think that will do us for news this week, and I'll wrap it up here. This has been the Not Watching Podcast in partnership with notlistening.co.uk, where you can also hear myself and Ian talk about video games and virtual reality on the Not Playing Podcast. And you can also hear Adam, Ash and Will talk about all manner of funny things on the Not Listening Podcast too. Please email us your thoughts on the show at notwatchingpodcast@gmail.com, or you can tweet or follow us on Twitter at notwatchingpod. You can also find the show notes for this show at notlistening.co.uk. If you're listening to us on iTunes, please do give us a review. And that's all. Thanks for listening. See ya.
Bye.
Ta-ra.
Bye-bye.